Your ear ever gets so hot and painful right before your period, you wonder if you have an ear infection? Looking for that answer helped me get diagnosed with PMDD. It must be a God thing of how I got diagnosed. The ear problem was not solved in this video, but this is the first video that popped up and it talked about PMDD criteria. Before she said it was for PMDD, I said yes to most of these things. And at the end, I thought she was gonna have my answer, but instead I figured out that I had premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Instead of spiraling and diagnosing myself, I brought my concerns to my therapist. And it turns out I do have PMDD because not only do I have those symptoms control my life. Weird thing is, I don't think I had PMDD the last 2 years until I had a car accident recently that put a lot of stress on my body. But my doctor thinks I did have it. It was just well managed. Before my PCOS routine that managed my hormones, my periods were so irregular that it was hard to keep track of. But there was incidences where my PMDD shined through, and that's what therapy helped with. With PMDD, I'm not going to have all those symptoms every month. Each month was different. One month I was severely depressed. The next month I was highly critical of myself, so much so that I remember telling my doctors that I hated myself. There was another instance when ice raided my area, and I remember weeping as if they had taken my own family member, which before I would be upset about, but not this intensely and deeply. I used to think I was an empath, but it turns out I have PMDD. PMDD has affected my relationship with my kids, my husband, my parents, and probably even friends in high school. We're probably not friends anymore because it's my fault for overreacting. If I ever felt my boundary was crossed or somebody truly betrayed me, I would cut people off and then regret it like a week later and wonder why they didn't want to be my friends anymore. Little things feel so big, like kitty litter on the floor because they kick it out. Feels like it's all over the entire house. But then a few days later, after I get my period, I realize it's just a little mess and I can just clean it up. But for days, I didn't clean it up because it felt so big. Anytime I would have an argument with my husband right before my period, it felt like I truly could not see his perspective. And I remember trying so hard to, and I felt like a narcissist for not being able to. But then I realized I couldn't have been a narcissist because I ruminated and worried so badly about whether I was a narcissist. I don't feel like narcissists worry about whether they're a narcissist. Let's say we had a fight the day before my period. The next day I would apologize, and I felt like a complete doofus for feeling so intensely over something so little the day before. It's like I didn't even know who she was. I don't know her. I totally disassociated from my luteal phase. Oddly enough, I felt like this kind of pull from God to start spironolactone for my PCOS acne, and within the first few days, it was leading up to my period, I realized I was getting really great sleep and I was just elated in a happy, joyous mood, which was really weird for me. Because I had recently discovered that my luteal phase is when my PMDD is activated and I'm feeling my worst, I was completely shocked that I felt so happy, and I Googled to see if spironolactone helps with PMDD, and it does. I've been on antidepressants long before my children were born, and I didn't like the way that I could literally feel my brain change in the middle of the night. I felt my brain melting and it was the worst feeling ever. This isn't like that. I truly just feel totally calm, and I can be happy without being sad at the same time. Normally, I'm so happy that I cry, and that's just not something I experience anymore, and I don't hate it. It's a little God thing that I wanted to show you because I looked up something for my ear and I figured out I had PMDD, and then a couple weeks later, I somehow started to heal it. Okay, obviously it's not healed, but it's being managed by medication, and I love that. Women in their 30s love the self-growth journey, and I'm so glad I'm getting the support I need with mine.